And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. Hope you're all well today. We're doing a rare lunchtime stream today. I was scratching my head today for some content to make, and I couldn't think of any videos to do that I thought would be useful enough to make or worthwhile. I don't want to ever do content just for the sake of it, as you guys know. So I thought maybe I'll do a stream instead. And then I noticed at 1:30 today there's 7 press conferences all on at the same time. So I thought that would actually be a really good opportunity to do a live stream, because there's bound to be loads of news that comes out at 1:30. So we're just after 1 o'clock now. At 1:30 there's 7 press conferences, but outside of that there's all the usual. We'll talk about the game week, the double game week, triple captaincy, loads prepared as always. So we'll have a nice chill lunchtime stream, and then I will be back later for a deadline stream as well, so that will be later as well. But I thought why not do a nice lunchtime stream. Didn't have anything else to do, so here we are. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We've got Nathan in the chat, Delia in the chat, Thomas, Chris, Obiafuna, Gabriel, Michael, Immortal, Sean, Phil. Good to see so many tuned in for a lunchtime stream. I wasn't even sure what the turnout would be like, but we've got over 500 already, so welcome to the stream. In case you missed it, my triple captain is active as well, which I haven't mentioned anyway yet, but that decision is locked in. I'm sticking with it. Triple captain's active on Haaland. Anyone else on triple captain or not? What's for lunch? I had like a chicken curry. In fact, it's still to my side. I didn't quite finish it. But what did you guys have for lunch? Feels unusual doing a lunchtime stream. Van Dijk injured. Yeah, he's out for a few weeks, I believe. But yeah, as I mentioned, there's lots of press conferences today. We've got Arteta, Thomas Frank, Lampard, Guardiola, De Zerbi, Moyes and Ten Hag all at 1:30. I don't know if I'll stick around for the Conte one at 2. Maybe we'll finish then. So it'll be like a good hour stream. But yeah, there's loads of press conferences all at 1:30. So we'll do all the usual. We'll talk about the double game week, the game week, captaincy, all those good things. And then we'll also see what comes out in the press conferences at 1:30. So if you've got questions for the game week, get them in. I noticed we just passed 131k subscribers as well. I think it was just below that before we went live, so thank you for that as well. Raptor in the chat. Oh my god, the auto moderator removed Ross's message. What did you say, Ross? I can't watch as I'm about to give another 2-hour lecture, but I just want to say that Oscar is the GOAT, and to make sure you subscribe to his channel and like the video. Thank you, Ross. And sorry that the bot removed your message, Ross. Not just because it's you, Ross, but also you're a member of the channel, and that was a genuine comment, so thanks for that. Don't know why the bot's got it in for Ross, but thank you, Ross. I hope the lecture goes well. Thanks, Delia. Oh, Tyler with the super chat. He says, Oscar, I have Haaland and Kane up front. I'll fix my webcam in a second. I've just noticed that that's a bit glitchy. He's got Haaland and Kane up front. He's opted for Mbeumo as his third. Thoughts on him this week against Bournemouth? Yeah, I actually don't mind Mbeumo. The problem is his returns are a bit inconsistent. Let me see if I can get up the transfers page while we're here. That one. Yeah, obviously Brentford have good fixtures. Perhaps he's their main outlet for goals while Tony's out injured. He is a bit inconsistent, but he is only 5.9 mil. 1 goal, 1 assist in Game Week 19. Normally his minutes are a bit inconsistent as well. I mean, if you look at his season here, he actually very rarely, if at all, plays the full 90. That might not be the case while Tony's out, and certainly if Tony ends up suspended. So I don't mind Mbeumo at all for 5.9, especially with those next 3. Bournemouth at home, Leeds away, Southampton at home. Don't mind that at all, Tyler. Super chat from Jordan as well. He says, Mitro to Martial from -4. Any thoughts on Rashi triple captain? So Martial first. There's rumours that he's not been in training. I'll see if I can find it on the website. He's not been spotted in training. He wasn't in their last FA Cup game. Where was it? I was looking on their website last night at the training photos, and I'll just quickly pull it up if I can find it while we're here. I think it's this. These are the latest training photos. They only uploaded 12 photos, but there's lots of players included in these, and Martial doesn't appear in any of them. So I would probably not take a -4. That said, we've got Man United's press conference at 1:30. So let's see what Ten Hag says. Maybe he'll have some promising news. But yeah, the problem with Martial, he's kind of like Mbumo, but even worse for minutes. Very rarely completes the 90. I don't think he has this season. They've signed Weghorst. I don't think that'll impact his minutes much, to be honest. I think he'll continue to come off early. But instead, it might be for Weghorst instead. So yeah, I'd be careful with the -4 for Martial. Let's see what Ten Hag says. His press conference is in 20 minutes, so whatever he says we'll cover in this stream. Rashford triple captain. For me, I think there's 3 better options. I think Haaland's better, I think Kane's better, I think De Bruyne's better than Rashford triple captain, personally. So not for me. I know he's been banging form. You could argue the case that he's had some pretty easy opponents. I'm not saying that Man United are only winning because they're easy opponents. Obviously, they're playing a lot better than earlier in the season. But I don't know if I would use it on Rashford. What do you guys in chat think? Is anyone on triple captain Rashford? Is Nunez ready for Gameweek 20? So I've got a little bit ready here for Nunez. I don't know if you guys saw this on my Twitter, but yesterday someone DM'd me and they said, this is before any news had come out, and they said Darwin's injured for a few weeks and there hadn't been any news on this. And then I had a look at Liverpool's training photos and I noticed he wasn't in any training photos, so I did tweet and share it. It has since come to light that there is a problem that has left him out of training. In today's press conference, Klopp says if he cannot train today, then yes, that would rule him out. So waiting for more information. It's not a major one, but it has kept him out of training. So we have to wait for that. And then Colm v Hayes, definitely recommend watching him on Twitter. Good friend of the channel, by the way. He's involved in the Expert series, if you guys watch that. I messaged him just before I went live and I asked if he's covering the half-one presses, and he said he is. Anyway, Klopp says, we have on top of that the problem at the moment, 4 of the offensive players, Firmino, Jota, Diaz, Nunez, are injured. Then we could buy another one, then they come back. Not tomorrow, but they will come back. Darwin, Nunez soon, the others a little bit later. So I think Darwin's out for Game Week 20. I don't think he's going to play this game week or this weekend. So I've already made a transfer and I sold him for Kane. And I also sold Saka for Ødegaard. I had 2 free transfers, so I did that for free. But yeah, I don't think he'll be involved. Thank you, John, for becoming a member as well. Appreciate that, John. If anyone's interested in becoming a member, it supports the channel, obviously. You also get early access to my videos. You get a little badge by your name in the live streams and the comments. So thanks for that, John. Saka to Rashford for a -4. I don't think I don't know if I'd do it for a -4. Is there no one else you can sell? The problem is Arsenal have a double game week 23, so you're getting a double game week now, but then you're losing a double game week down the line. So it's not great. Like my transfers was Saka to Ødegaard and Darwin to Kane, so I'm getting 2 extra double game weeks there. Sorry, I'm not losing a double game week on Ødegaard, and I'm gaining 1 on Kane. I don't know if I'd do it for a -4. Dry Brief Rice says, are you triple captain Haaland? I am. Triple captain is active on Haaland. Is Tony fit? Not sure. The press conference for Brentford is at 1:30, so hopefully we'll get something then. Arteta, Frank, Lampard, Guardiola, De Zerbi, Moyes, Ten Hag are all live at 1:30, so in just under 20 minutes. So we'll see what comes out then. Hopefully we get some news on if Tony's available or not. Because I know a lot of people can't go from Darwin to Kane, so if Tony's fully fit and available, perhaps he's an option. But I know, he might be looking down the barrel at suspension for that betting scandal, so I'm not sure on that one. FPL Father Ted in the chat, he says it's going to be a week of fine margins. By the way, if you guys aren't aware, FPL Father Ted's just started up doing YouTube, I think recently, right? But he makes some good content, so check him out. He says it's going to be a week of fine margins. I agree. I've gone for the route of just covering all bases. I've got De Bruyne, I've got Haaland, I've got Kane, I've got Rashford. I've got the key players covered there, so I think I'm quite safe this game week. Just trying to think who could actually hurt me this game week. I guess Martinelli's quite highly owned, who I don't have. I ended up going for Ødegaard because this season he's got higher expected goal involvement, more expected goal involvement per 90, higher XG, and he's actually on slightly more points. So I ended up just going for Ødegaard, mainly because of ownership, but also the stats slightly favour Ødegaard. Jordan says, I'm thinking of triple captain Rashi because Haaland could share minutes of Alvaro's, especially against Tottenham, whereas Rashi is expected to play 90 minutes in both games. It's a fair point about Rashford. He's expected to play 90, but what do you guys think? Would you not argue that Haaland's also expected to play 90? They trail Arsenal by 5 points. It's 2 massive games that won't be easy. What are the odds of him coming off early for Alvarez, unless there's a game that's wrapped up completely? I'm not sure. I think he needs Haaland for these. Haaland was benched in the League Cup as well. Came off the bench against Southampton, but couldn't have any impact. I'm not convinced. I think right now, you know that his minutes are pretty secure, in my opinion. The same can't be said for Gameweek 23, and much further down the line, it's just a mystery. There could be better double game weeks. There might not be. FPL Father Ted says, I'll be shocked if Haaland doesn't play 90 in both games. Yeah, I think he starts both. Maybe comes off early, especially if a game's wrapped up. Double game weeks give me migraines. You and me both. This one's an absolute headache. I just really hope Martial's okay because, as I said earlier, he wasn't spotted in training. And I decided to swerve Mitrovic just in case Martial got the double game week, and I thought it was an opportunity to captain Haaland. In the end, Haaland blanked. Mitrovic scored. Obviously got suspended, so it wasn't too bad. But it looked good overall because I kept Martial. I saved the transfer. He had a double game week. Hopefully, I mean, the press is in 15 minutes. Hopefully we find out that he's back in training or fine. But we'll have to see. It's a bit concerning that he's not been seen in training at all. Sell Cancelo, yes or no? I think Cancelo's time's up. I think you have to cut your losses with Cancelo. I mean, Pep could play him in both games. It wouldn't be surprising. But based on his recent minutes, his performances, I would say he probably won't. Just going to try and sort out my webcam. Why is it doing that? Is that better? No. Don't know what I've done here. Oh, that's even worse now. How's that? Oh no. Alright, you're going to have to put up with that. Sorry. I'm a bit green. What were we talking about? Yeah, Cancelo. And then in the League Cup he starts and he had a really bad game. Like a 1 out of 10 performance. So I'm just not... I think it's time to cut your losses with Cancelo. Annoyingly, Stones was missing as well. I think it was a fitness problem or a minor injury, so that's not ideal timing because he looked like the best replacement. So maybe someone like Akanji or Ake. Yeah, the team looks set up well for this week, I have to say. I've made 2 transfers. They were both free ones. And I know there's a lot of hits active. If you guys watch the Expert series, you will have seen how many hits they're taking. I think it was well over half, or at least on a -4 or worse. There were some -8s and -12s. So if you're not even taking a hit this week, you're in a very good position. I am considering -4 though, to do something like Cucurella to Doherty. Just in case Liverpool get a double game week 21. It's probably not likely now. We'll talk about it more in a minute. It's probably not likely, but if that were to happen, I couldn't do De Bruyne to Salah in one move at the moment. So therefore I'm wondering if it's worth doing Cucurella to Doherty. It gives me an extra double game week player. It gives me Doherty to start against Fulham in game week 21. And it gives me the funds for De Bruyne to Salah. Not sure though on that one. Just on the double game weeks, this is a graphic that was made by Pras and Sonaldo from Fantasy Football Scout on their Burning Questions video. Strongly recommend checking them out. Pras and FPL Sonaldo, and they made this graphic and it's too good not to share with you guys. Basically what they've done here is they've looked at the double game weeks for City, potential triple captain opportunities, and then they've just noted potential issues in those weeks. So with 20, it's tough fixtures. Man United away, Tottenham at home. 23, you could say the same. Aston Villa, less so, but Arsenal away is going to be a tough fixture for City, you feel. One thing that's not mentioned here is, of course, in Game Week 20, there's a nicer gap between the games, whereas Game Week 23 has a smaller gap. I think it's a day or two less. Plus, there's a potential midweek fixture before Game Week 23 if Man City get an FA Cup replay. There is Game Week 29, which could be Liverpool at home, West Ham at home. 2 home games would be a really nice triple captain opportunity. But it might be a wildcard opportunity because it's going to be a big double game week. So you have to do whatever is the optimal thing that week. And you might get to Game Week 29, and the best move is to wildcard into that week and load up on a full team of double game week assets. And it is just after the international break, so it might be a nice time to wildcard. 34 is another one, but that could be a bench boost opportunity. So that's one thing going against 34 as well. So you might not have the opportunity to triple captain them. And then there's 37, which is really close to the end of the season. 34 is close to the end of the season as well, but 37 especially so. There could be other concerns or priorities for Guardiola. The Champions League, obviously he hasn't won it yet, so he might be tempted to rotate more in the league, which we've seen him do before. The FA Cup obviously will be looming, so hard to say whether the opportunity will be there all the way down the line in 37 if they get a double game week then, which they might not either. You know, we saw City knocked out the League Cup surprisingly. There could be other upsets. So yeah, that's like a broad view of other potential triple captain opportunities for Haaland. There's pros and cons to wait until later. I just think right now his minutes seem assured, so I'm just going to go for it in 20. And obviously the other thing, also from Burning Questions, is there are other potential triple captain options in terms of players. Rashford could be one in 22 against Palace and Leeds, if they get their double game week. It's not confirmed yet, it's just being rumoured. But Palace and Leeds at home would be a really nice fixture pair for Rashford. You could have other doubles later in the season as well in 29. Salah might get one. For example, in 37, Villa and Forest, or Villa and Fulham, that'd be a great pair of fixtures. Kane might get one against Everton and Southampton. Saka might get one in 29, 2 home games against Leeds and Everton. So there's loads of different windows to use the triple captaincy. I just feel like right now it looks like a sensible week, so I'm just going to get it out of the way on Haaland. I've never had much luck with triple captain anyway, so I'm happy to just get it done. FPL Junkie says, who's the best Cancelo replacement for a -4? If you don't have Shaw, I think Shaw's probably the most obvious. With a double gaming now, maybe one in 22, maybe not. Outside of Shaw, I assume you have Trippier already because everyone's got him. I don't think an Arsenal defender's that bad this week, Gabriel or White. But you could risk it on a Man City defender. If you're going to do that, then I would say if Pep comes out and says Stones is fine, his press conference is in 10 minutes. If he says Stones is fine, then I think Stones. Failing that, Ake or Akanji. But they're just risky. I'm not totally keen on them because they're just risky. You can't guarantee they'll start both. One of them will, but I'm just not sure who. It's just a coin toss. Hopefully that helps though. FPL Zin says he wants to do Darwin to Kane but needs to free up funds. Cancelo out is the plan, but for who? He's already got Trippier, Shaw and White, Ake or Doherty. Between those two, Ake. For me, I'd say Ake. I'm in a very similar position. Ended up a terrible pick, but I went for Cucurella back in Game Week 17. Because they had, to be fair, they had Bournemouth at home, Forest away, and then a double game week. He kept one clean sheet, but not great. I think a Man City defender, so probably Ake between those, who can play in centre-back or left-back. Seems like the most logical pick. I'm not sold on Lewis. I think Lewis maybe starts one, doesn't start the other. So maybe that means Cancelo starts one. Harry Feldman, how are we doing? Going by a different name. He says, hope you're doing well, brother. Would you agree with a Salah to Rashford or Ødegaard transfer and he won in the bank? I don't think I would. I don't think I would do it. Salah to Rashford or Ødegaard. What do you guys think? I don't think I would do that. I mean, what's the points projection saying for this week? Let's have a quick look at that. I don't think I would do it. Salah to Rashford. I mean, if Darwin's out, then we'll probably see Salah playing through the middle, striker. I'm not sure if I would do that. Odegaard, definitely not. It'd be for Rashford if I was going to sell him. Ideally, I'd sell him for De Bruyne. I don't know if you've got De Bruyne already, Harry. I think De Bruyne has to be a priority transfer if you're selling Salah. Perhaps he says the same, Salah to De Bruyne. Shiv likes it. Salah to Rashford sounds good. Tom doesn't like it. I mean, it's not bad. According to the points projections, FPL review, he's projected 1.5 more points. Do you have De Bruyne already, Harry? That would be the priority. If I'm selling Salah, then I'm getting De Bruyne over Rashford, even if it's for a -4. Zidane says, why don't you start Cucurella instead of Gabriel? I'd love to, but he was benched last night, so I'm just not sure if I can trust him to start the next one now. What do you guys think? Cucurella starts? Oh, you already have De Bruyne. Oh, it's difficult. Salah to De Bruyne. Wait and see whether they get a double game week announcement or not, Liverpool. There is still potentially an announcement to come that they double in 21. I think I'd probably just about do it, but I don't think it's that much of an upgrade, if I'm honest. It does make sense though, because if Rashford hauls, you also want to protect yourself. If Rashford goes mad, then it's going to hurt your rank. Andreas Garnacho. Is that who to start or who to transfer? I suppose Garnacho. Not sure what his chances are of starting in either. Maybe in one. Ari says, best midfielder for under 6 mil. I need Kane in the team. For under 6 mil. It has to be Almiron. What's he, 5'8"? 5'9"? I'd say Almiron. I like Newcastle's next 4. So I'd say Almiron. Odegaard, Martinelli, they all cost more than that. I'm definitely monitoring Brighton, McAllister and Mitoma. De Zerbi was saying that he's going to play McAllister further forward, as he did for Argentina. And Mitoma's been absolutely flying as well. Trossard's out of favour. But I think it has to be Almiron. Gross is underrated. Yeah, the Brighton midfielders, there's so many options there. But I think Almiron. Harry says accept Almiron. Tom says, is this your final team? Yeah, almost certainly. I might take a -4 for one more transfer, but it would just be for probably Doherty, for Cucurella, something like that. I'm not sure yet. I'm keeping my eyes out just in case there's a double game week announced for Liverpool. In fact, I've got a graphic from FPL review I've prepared. These are uncertain fixtures, and they've basically put a percentage likelihood of a double game week against these fixtures based on Ben Crellin's work, and they've got a 40% chance of a double game week 21 for Chelsea and Liverpool. I'd probably still sell Cucurella because I'm just not sure if he starts both, and it would free up the funds to go De Bruyne to Salah in 21, so that would be the thinking there. A small chance for Brighton and Crystal Palace, Arsenal and Everton maybe. Man United and Leeds, 60% they've given to a double game week 22. So definitely not locked in, far from that. The rumour is that it's going to be if Man United and Leeds avoid a 4th round FA Cup replay, then they might get a double game week 22. Leeds aren't even through to the 4th round yet. They still have to play their replay against Cardiff. And then if they both go through to the 4th round and avoid a replay, in other words, if they don't draw the FA Cup fixture just before game week 22, then people are speculating that there'll be a double game week 22 for both Man United and Leeds. The reason being, Man United have the potential to run out of free midweeks to have double game weeks booked in. It's unlikely, but if it's a free midweek and there is that risk, then it makes sense for the Premier League to schedule a double game week in Game Week 22. A couple of minutes and then the half-one press conferences will start. I DM'd Colm just before the stream started, and he said he's going to be covering it. So, as I said earlier, there's 7 press conferences at half-one. So we'll see what news comes out of this. We can have Arteta's, we'll have Thomas Frank's. I know lots of you are asking about Tony, so I'm sure they'll ask Frank about Tony. Arteta's presser, Lampard's, Guardiola's, De Zerbi's, Moyes and Ten Hag's. The main ones I'm interested in is Guardiola's and Ten Hag's, because I'm tripled on both Man United and Man City. So what are you guys doing this week? What are you doing for captaincy? Haaland, Kane, Rashford? Maybe I'll do a poll. I'll wait for the pressers to start. Who's your captain for Game Week 20? Those are the 3, right? Haaland, Kane, Rashford and other. Can't add De Bruyne in, really. Good to see you in the chat, Fran. Are you going to the meetup tomorrow? Total Tactics says Andy Martin, KDB. If he does that again and it comes off, he will be literally written into FPL folklore after that triple captain on De Bruyne last season. What did he get? Like 30 points from his triple? Like 90 points from one player. Sean says Haaland to be on the safe side. Looks like Bournemouth's presser has just started. If anyone's not following Colm or his FPL news on Twitter, strongly recommend giving him a follow. He'll cover all the press conferences. He's a good friend of the channel. He does the he's involved with the expert series as well, and he'll be covering the press conferences. So we'll see what he covers with all the press conferences starting in a minute. I'll keep an eye out on anything that is of interest. I'll relay to you guys. Is this the deadline stream? No, it's not the deadline stream. Basically, I decided not to do a video today because I couldn't think of one that was actually worth doing. I don't want to do videos just for the sake of it, so I thought I'll do a stream instead. And I noticed that there's 7 press conferences at half-one, so I thought I'll do a stream as well. Harry says you need to sort your green screen out, I think. I know, it's broken. I can't fix it. I think I've just got the colour wrong now. I think it's because I haven't done a lunchtime stream before. My green screen's like a different colour in the daylight. I literally can't fix it. I could just switch it off completely. That might be better. Oh, that's alright. Is it? Yeah, that's better. There we go. Tom says, are you going with the triple captain this week then? I am, yeah. The triple captain's active on Haaland. Close the curtains. Alright. They're actually blinds. Is that better? A bit better. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, that'll do. Anyway, 1,600 tuned in. Didn't expect that on a lunchtime stream, I'll have to be honest. So I appreciate you all being here. If you have enjoyed the stream so far, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do streams every game week. I do 4 or 5 videos every game week, so make sure you subscribe and all those good things. Thank you for being here. Press conferences have just started, so if there's anything that comes through of interest, I'll relay that to you guys. Get your questions in the chat. Gabe says, have you taken a hit this game week? I haven't taken a hit. I had 2 free transfers, so I've done Darwin to Kane and Saka to Ødegaard. I just think Ødegaard's actually probably the best value of the 3 Arsenal mids, so I've gone for Ødegaard. He's lower owned than Martinelli as well, and I'm looking for players with some upside for me. So that's why I've gone for Odegaard. I could have bought Martinelli as well, but so captain poll results: 83% are on Haaland, 12% Rashford, 3% Kane, and 2% other. Yeah, the problem with Kane is obviously he's on 4 yellows as well. So if he gets booked against Arsenal, which is possible in a North London derby, then he misses the City game, and it's a single game week for him. Basically, my thinking with Kane is I cannot continue ignoring Kane with the consistency he's shown this season. I mean, look at his returns. He's failed to score in game week 18, 14, 5 and 1, and only 3 blanks. I mean, it's just ridiculous. If Haaland wasn't around, we'd all be talking about how essential Kane was. So I just thought I can't keep going without Kane, so I may as well get him now when it's a double game week. So that's why I've got Kane in, basically. I could just about afford the threemium by downgrading Saka to Odegaard. Ben says option 1, Cancelo to Shaw, Mount to Mahrez, or option 2, an 8-point hit, Cancelo to Shaw, Cucurella to Akanji, Mount to De Bruyne, Adams to Greenwood. Option 1 for me. And I'd say Mahrez over Foden. What do you guys think, Mahrez or Foden? I think it has to be Mahrez. He's been playing better. He was benched in the FA Cup. In the League Cup, sorry. Has to be Mahrez if you're going to go for one of them. Max says, who should I start out of Andreas, Saliba and McAllister? Definitely not Andreas, so it's between Saliba and McAllister. I think McAllister. I think I'd give it to McAllister. I'm not sure I trust the North London derby for a clean sheet from Saliba. So I'd say McAllister against Liverpool, who have looked a bit ropey defensively. Chintan says, I've booked to -4, Martinelli to Mahrez and Cancelo to Mings. I've triple captain Haaland, I've Darwin, so what to do now? Have you already taken the -4? I don't really like those transfers, I'll be honest. You're selling Martinelli, who's given you no reason to sell him. He's got a double game week in 23. And Cancelo to Mings. Not convinced by that either. I'd rather have someone like Doherty for the same price over Mings. What do you guys think? Triple captain Haaland, fair enough. And you have Darwin. If it was me, if you don't have Kane, I'd be doing Darwin to Kane and then downgrading Cancelo, and I'd keep Martinelli. If you really want Mings, then I'd stick with that, but I'd go Darwin to Kane. I don't think I'd be selling Martinelli to Mahrez for a hit. Harry says John Stones. What's the latest on Stones? I guess Pep should tell us right now because he's about to go live, if he's on time, which he often isn't. Oops. Yeah, weird that Trossard banished from first team training by Brighton boss De Zerbi. What's up with that? He's been like they're one of the best players this season. It's really odd how he's just come back from the break looking terrible and not at all in De Zerbi's thinking. Man United has begun, City hasn't. Alright, keep us posted, Harry. Just again to remind you guys of the press conference times. Arteta, Frank, Lampard, Guardiola, De Zerbi, Moyes and Ten Hag all at 1:30. So in the next few minutes there should be loads of information that comes through from those presses. So anything that is of interest I'll just relay to you guys. But keep the questions coming in. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Hit like if you are. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I will be live again later for the deadline, but I thought I'd do a lunchtime stream because there's so much to talk about with the double game week and obviously all these press conferences as well. We can talk some more about the triple captain later. Harry, is your triple captain active or no? Sean says, thoughts on a wildcard this week? No, I don't think this is a good week to wildcard. And this going back to what I said earlier, I was thinking about content to do today, a video, and I thought maybe I could do a wildcard video, but I don't think it's a good week to wildcard. I think you're much better off saving it. Absolutely not, says Harry. Okay, interesting. Well, Harry's having a sensational season, so maybe he's right. I'm locked in with the triple captain, I won't lie. It's locked in for me. No, I'm not wearing makeup. I look like a ghost. Oh, it's the webcam filter. It's broken. I'll have to fix it for later stream. Is that better or worse? Yeah, I'll fix it for the stream later. Triple captain poll. Okay, let's do a triple captain poll. Are you using the triple captain? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the results of this. Yes. No. Should we have one like undecided? Maybe an undecided one as well. I guess there's some people that are still making their mind up today, so get your votes in on that. How's it going, Bladeney? Tony fitness update. Yeah, we'll have to see in a minute what Frank says about Tony. His press conference is right now, so I imagine we'll get some news on that. Let's see if Scout wrote anything. No fresh injury concerns for Palace. Neto still sidelined for Bournemouth. Yeah, going back to Mbeumo earlier, that could be good news for those looking at Mbeumo. Thanks for the super chat, Chris. He says Kane and Almiron versus Tony if fit and Mahrez. Getting rid of Mount and Darwin. Can't do Salah to De Bruyne if I bring in Kane. For me, option one's way better. I like Kane and Almiron way more than Tony and Mahrez. You know, and Tony's a question mark. Even if Frank says, yeah, he's fine, it still seems a little bit risky straight after injury. And Mahrez is also risky, so it feels like two risks there. Kane's a little bit of a risk, because obviously if he gets a yellow, then he's suspended. But I think Kane and Almiron's comfortably better between those two combinations. And you can't have them all. If you can't get to De Bruyne as well, that's fine. Jaskaran says, Wilson as a differential or the safe Almiron pick? What's the timeline on Isak? I actually think I saw Hal say something earlier on Isak saying, is he back in training? He's not on Premier injury, so I'm assuming Isak's back in training. Obviously Wilson's first choice, but it's a bit of a headache for Hal, that one. I think Almiron. I mean, Wilson's the more explosive pick, but he's always been so unreliable for minutes and starts. Gets injuries all the time. I think I would just go Almiron, play it safe. I'd leave that striker spot free for someone like Nketiah in Gameweek 23. He might want maybe Martial if he's confirmed available for this double game week. Above average FPL in the chat. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Surprisingly massive turnout for a lunchtime stream. As I said earlier, I just thought there's so much to talk about this game week, being a double game week, the triple captaincies come into discussion. I thought I'd do a lunchtime stream while the press conference is on. And if there's anything interesting that comes out from these presses, then I'll relay that to you guys. These are the ones that are on right now. Oh, here we go. Man City, what's Pep got to say? Stones isn't ready. There's the first bit of news from the press conference. Pep says that Stones is not ready. So if you were looking at Stones... In fact, Harry, are you trolling us? Harry just said go Stones if you're selling Cancelo. In other news, I think everyone else is fit. So no Stones. Is there anything else? Let's see. Some Man United news. Ten Hag says Dalot is not available and Anthony Martial trained this morning, so we'll have to see how he recovered from his training and then that'll be decided tomorrow. I mean, it's promising news in the sense that Martial at least trained. But it's a really difficult one now if you're looking at him as a transfer. Maybe a bit too risky. But Dallow's out. Oh, thanks, Harry. So Dallow's out. Stones is out for the Manchester derby. Martial trained this morning. Decision tomorrow, small thing in his leg. Interesting. Thanks, Mikhail, for the 10 months. He's got Salah, Foden, Darwin, and Kuka to Kane, KDB, Shaw, and Ødegaard. Yeah, love it. Great moves. Is that from -8 or a -12? Those are really, really good moves. All of those upgrades. I like that a lot. So no Stones for the Manchester derby. No Dallow. Martial trained this morning. Small problem in his leg. Yeah, that's fine for a -8. I should have prepared the graphic from the experts, but if you guys missed it, every week I ask the experts what their transfer plans are, how many transfers they're making, and they were taking loads of hits this week. So basically, don't be afraid to take hits this week. When it's a double game week, you're much, much likely to have that hit repaid. Trying to find that graphic. Where was it? That'd be too difficult to find now. Tony news. Let's see if there's anything on Tony. So yeah, the news so far is that Stones isn't available, but Dallow's not. Martial trained this morning, so they'll have to make a decision. Weghorst. What's the latest on Weghorst? Ten Hag on the Weghorst loan. I think we are close. So he won't be available for tomorrow. So no Weghorst for the Manchester derby. What's this? No Weghorst for the Manchester derby. So maybe they'll take a chance on Martial. Otherwise we might see Rashford out of position up top. And then I guess maybe Garnacho plays. Sorry if I'm missing questions in the chat and so on. It's really hard to just juggle everything, all the windows and tabs and animations. Doherty or me? I'd say Doherty. Just go for the upside there. Chase the double game week. He's in form. He's started all the games since the restart. Bladeney says, dude, FPL Focus, you're the best. Thank you. But FPL Focus is someone else. People always get me and FPL Focus mixed up. So the triple captain poll results. 1,300 votes. Are you using the triple captain? 27% yes. 53% no. 20% undecided. Interesting. It's about the same as how the expert series had ended up. I think they were like 26% said yes. But theirs was definitive yes or no. There was no undecided. Just checking various news sources for anything else that comes through from the presses. Not much from Wolves. Long-term absentees, Traore, Neto, Chiquinho, all remain out. Late call and Diego Costa, fine, whatever. Sell Nunez. Yeah, I'd sell Nunez. Get rid of Nunez. It sounds like he's not going to be available. A little bit on Liverpool here. Klopp said if he cannot train today, then yes, that would rule him out. So we're waiting for more information. It's not a major one, but it has kept him out of training, so we have to wait for that. I received a DM yesterday from someone who said they had a Liverpool connection and that they were told Darwin's out for potentially a few weeks. And I just thought, well, I don't know what the reliability of this is. And then I looked at the training photos and I did... Oops, not Fulham. Oh, what have I done here? Fulham. And then I noticed he wasn't in training as well. Another one from Colm here, a really useful one. Klopp on the injury said... he's talking about buying new strikers or whatever. And he says we could buy another one and then they come back. Not tomorrow, but they will come back. Darwin Nunez soon. The others a little bit later. So the fact that he says soon, to me implies that Darwin's not going to be available. So yeah, if you have Darwin, I think he's a sell. I think Martial is very risky now, based on Ten Hag's comments. Very risky. So it's difficult. Where do you go? If you can get to Kane, if you don't have him, then I think Kane's the answer. Darwin Nunez. Shah or Burn in defence? I think Botman's the best of the three, but if you want to pay whatever you want for any of them, then Shah probably has the most attacking threat. I think Shah's on 4 yellows though, so just bear that in mind. If he does pick up one this game, then he is suspended. Some Brentford news. You ready for this? Ivan Toney is fit and available and due to start tomorrow for Brentford, according to Thomas Frank. There we go. There's a new option as a Darwin replacement. Toney is available, according to this source, due to start. Tyler says Castagna or White. I've got Shaw and Trippier. If that's who to start, Castagna. If that's who to buy, I would say White is better long term. Castagna to start, White if it's to buy. What's my name? Oscar. So yeah, Toney's fit and available to start for the game this game week. The other news was that John Stones is out for the Manchester derby. Martial trained this morning, so he seems like a risky transfer. I already had him. If I didn't have him, I'm not sure if I'd go there. It seems a little bit risky based on him having one training session. But Ten Hag did say that Weghorst isn't going to be available, so maybe they'll risk it. Because it is going to disrupt them quite a lot if Martial doesn't play. It just feels like a very risky transfer to me. If you guys have enjoyed the stream so far, the press conference coverage, let me know in the chat. Drop the stream a like if you are enjoying it, and subscribe. I do streams every game week, and I do 4 or 5 videos typically every game week as well to help you guys improve your rank, climb your mini leagues, and all those good things. -4 Martial to Toney. I wouldn't sell Martial. I absolutely wouldn't sell him if I had him. It's just buying him that's a question mark. He's in the don't sell territory as well. Maybe don't buy territory as well. Dive says bench Mitrovic, Botman or Digne. Digne. Song name. Song name is Box and Meat Canvas from Wilding. Actually my cousin. It's his music. This song anyway, not all the other ones, just this song is my cousin's. The rest is a copyright free playlist from Harris Heller. Malboa says, what do you think about Castagna, Salah and Martial to Shaw, Rashford and Kane? And then I also take a -8 hit. Castagna, Salah, Martial to Shaw, Rashford and Kane. Cool, that's a difficult one. Really difficult one, that. Who's your other strikers? I'm just not convinced by selling Martial for a hit in a double game week. What do you guys think of that? Is there no other way you can get to Kane? What other strikers could you have that you don't want to sell? You'll have Haaland, but who's your other one that you'd want to keep? Castagna, Salah and Martial to Shaw, Rashford and Kane. I'd probably just about do it. Just about, but I'm not sure on that one. Hard to say if that hit will be repaid from -8. You know, Salah could do damage. Martial has a double game week. Castagna's got Forest away. Don't know about that one. Just about. -8 for Kane. Depends who you're selling. I wouldn't be selling players who have good upside this game week. Darwin, for example, you just sell him because he's expected to be out. It depends who you're selling as part of the -8. Yeah, I wouldn't sell Martial either. I agree with that. Am I triple captain Haaland? Yes, I am. I'll talk more about the triple captaincy in a sec and what my thinking is there. the pros and cons to using it now as opposed to saving it for later. Nothing else has come through yet. So Tony's available, expected to start. Stones is out for the Manchester derby. Martial trained this morning for the first time, and Dallow's not available. That's what we know so far. Just on triple captaincy then, just give my thoughts on this. We talked a bit about this earlier, but just to recap on it, this is a graphic from Pras and Sonaldo from Fantasy Football Scout on Burning Questions, and it was just too good not to share this one with you guys. So what they've done here is they've looked at the fixtures, potential triple captain opportunities, and then potential issues with those doubles. So in the case of 20 and 23, it's tough fixtures. You've got Man United away, Tottenham at home. Aston Villa at home is a good fixture, but Arsenal away is a really tough game. I'd say the toughest of the four. One thing that goes in favour of double game week 20 is that there's a bigger rest between the two games, Saturday and Thursday, whereas in double game week 23, I think it's a day or two less rest. And if Man City get a FA Cup replay, I think it goes in the midweek before double game week 23. So that'll be an extra fixture that drops in there. Double game week 29, on paper, would be better fixtures, Liverpool and West Ham at home. But maybe that's a wildcard opportunity because it comes straight after the international break, and you might look at those fixtures and think, I could wildcard straight into this double and have a stacked team of 8 or 9 double game week players. I'm speculating, but it could be a very, very big double game week in 29. There is also a potential double in 34, but that might be a bench boost opportunity. It could be Fulham and then one of West Ham or Brighton, so that's definitely a triple captain opportunity. It's just hard to say whether or not it will be the best chip or not. If you think you'll get more points from your bench boost that week, then you simply use your bench boost. And there's also 37, and 37 kind of has the same issues as 34, where it's close to the end of the season. There's other competitions like the Champions League, which Pep still hasn't won at Man City. There's the FA Cup finals, so he might prioritise those. It's hard to say what Haaland's minutes will look like. I just think that his minutes in 20 will look good, because they trail Arsenal by 5. Two tough fixtures where he can't look at those fixtures and think, yeah, I'll probably get away with Alvarez. Whereas he might for Aston Villa, for example, in 23. Again, none of that could happen, but that's just where my head's at with the triple captaincy. And I've always had bad luck with triple captaincy. I used it a few seasons ago on Mane, when Liverpool had a double, and Mane got injured like half an hour into the game, and I got 3 points triple captain, and he didn't play in the second. Oscar says, Mitro to Nketiah for a -4. No, not for a -4. No need to take a -4 to get rid of Mitrovic. Right, check if there's any other news that has come out in the last few minutes. In case you missed it, these are all the press conferences that kicked off at 1:30. Surprisingly little's come out so far. Stones is out for the Manchester derby. Martial's back in training this morning. Dallow's out. Ivan Toney is fit and available. Interesting. I wonder if a lot of people will go Darwin to Toney if you can't afford Kane. Martial seems a little bit risky now. He might be fine for the double. It just seems a little bit risky. How are we doing, Ash? Welcome to the stream. Haaland on 4 yellows? No, I don't think so. He's on 3 yellows. The yellow cards reset after you've played 19 games. I think if Haaland got booked in both games, he might actually miss the Wolves game, but I might be wrong on that. I think that's right, because he had Game Week 7 postponed, Game Week 12 postponed. So, how many have they played? 17. I think he'd have to get booked in both. It better not be another Maddison. I remember Maddison was on 2 yellow cards, and he needed to get like 3 in 3 to miss that important game week when we needed him. It was like a blank game week or something, wasn't it? And then Maddison went and got 3 yellows in a row. Jack Milner says, I'm having a disaster. I've got Foden, Walker, Nunez, Martial. I've got Salah plus 2 transfers. I'm thinking Salah to De Bruyne, Nunez to Kane, Foden to Rodrigo, or Trent to Botman. Or Trent to Botman, Foden to De Bruyne, Nunez to Nketiah. I like the first one more. Salah to De Bruyne, Nunez to Kane. Foden to Rodrigo. Rodrigo's an interesting one. How much is Rodrigo? I mean, I know they've got very good fixtures, so you might be onto something with that one, but I've not seen him talked about much. 6.3. I'm guessing you can't afford Martinelli or Odegaard, because I would prioritise those over Rodrigo. I don't mind the Rodrigo pick at all, I'll be honest. It's between him and Almiron if you haven't got that much money. Yeah, I prefer the first combination more. You're getting De Bruyne who doubles, you're getting Kane who doubles. Ideally, I'd want Martinelli or Odegaard over Rodrigo, but I don't mind the Rodrigo pick as well. Much better than the second option, in my opinion. Paul says, do you think Liverpool will get the double next game week? I think as the days goes on, it seems less likely. There's a graphic from FPL Review I prepared here, and they've basically projected the uncertain fixtures and put a percentage likelihood, so 0.4 is like 40%. It's just speculation based on Ben Crellin's predictions. Obviously, he's the man for double game weeks and the schedule and so on. They've given it a 40% chance here. I think it's probably less than that now, because as each day goes by, it seems less likely to me, because why wouldn't they just give fans the heads up sooner than later? There's no reason to leave it as late as they do. I know they do sometimes do that, but there's no logical reason not to tell fans earlier than now this week. So I think it probably doesn't. There is also the rumoured Man United and Leeds double game week 22. 60% chance they've given it. Again, you'd think they would announce that sooner than later. So maybe we'll get something today, or maybe they'll announce it bang on the deadline. Hopefully not. But yeah, it seems less likely to me now, a Liverpool double game week. And I think there's less pressure to rearrange Liverpool's fixtures as opposed to Man United. I think Man United are the only team that could run out of free midweeks to reschedule fixtures. Aman says Zaha to Almiron from -4. Zaha to Almiron, or Almiron to Zaha. I wouldn't be selling either. Almiron's got Fulham at home, Zaha's got a double. I wouldn't be selling either of those. Maddie says, use Cancelo or swap for a City defender. If so, who? Use Cancelo or swap for a City defender. Yeah, this is actually a tricky one. I think selling Cancelo for someone like Akanji or Ake is a little bit risky. I wouldn't be surprised if Cancelo starts one. You know, same with Lewis. Maybe Lewis starts one, Cancelo starts the other. So I'd only be selling Cancelo if it was to bring in funds to upgrade elsewhere. A lot of people have been doing Cancelo to Ake, Darwin to Kane, for example. I'd be tempted just not to spend a transfer there at this point if I had Cancelo. He'd probably get you like 2 or 3 points. Maybe he starts one, you never know. So that's my thoughts on Cancelo. What do you guys think on that? Are you selling him? I think it makes more sense to free up cash for an upgrade like Darwin to Kane. Arteta won Manager of the Month. Martial trained this morning. Stones isn't ready. Everton. Garner, Townsend, Keane, Patterson and Iwobi are all on the injury list ahead of Game Week 20. Lampard reported that Calvert-Lewin has come through unscathed. Dallow's unavailable. Right, 2,500 tune in. I kind of want to wrap it up soon because I'm going to do a deadline stream again later. I'll stick around for like another 5 in case we get any more news from the presses. And then I think we'll wrap it up and then we'll do another stream later on today. I've got loads more prepared here that I didn't even get to talk about, but I think I'll cover that in the deadline stream. So we'll go live 90 minutes before the deadline later on. Mount to Gakpo for a -4. No, I wouldn't be getting Gakpo for a -4. I know he's 8 mil, not a bad price at all, but for a -4, no, not for me. Saka out for Mahrez. I wouldn't be selling Saka. We have to be careful with these doubles. The doubles always bait you. It's easy to get dragged in by the allure of double game weeks and then you regret it. I'm sure people that picked up Mason Mount, Kukurea, maybe even Mitrovic are kind of regretting that now from double game week 19. I think you have to be careful. You sell Saka now. He's been delivering very consistently. He could even get returns this game week. And then you get to game week 23 and it's like, oh, I have to spend a transfer to get him back now. Or you spend a transfer to get Odegaard or Martinelli. João Felix. Yeah, João Felix for a -4. I think that makes sense. In fact, I tweeted about Felix last night. He'd been brought in by loads of managers before he'd even played. God knows. $28,610 managers had already transferred in João Felix before his red card. Casuals, right? Casuals. Has it gone up? 30k now. Hang on, so it's gone up by another few thousand since I tweeted that. I mean, that makes even less sense. Any news on Tony? Yeah, Tony's fit and available. Frank says he's fit and available, so good news on Tony there. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there. Really good turnout for this stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit like if you have. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We'll be back for a deadline stream where there's loads more to talk about that we didn't get to cover here. Who's live? We're going to go over and raid Holly Shan's channel. I'll drop a link in the chat. Head over to Holly Shan's channel. We're going to go raid her. Send her my love. Like the stream before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We'll be back for the deadline stream an hour and a half before the deadline. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry if I didn't get to your questions. But as I say, we'll be back later, an hour and a half before the deadline. See you then. Focal out.